Alright, what's up guys? Here I am back on the worlds. Well, actually I was playing a little bit. I was actually making this path so I can start on my farm. Like once I finish this path, I'll start on my farm, then I'm gonna put it over here basically. Clear stuff out, and while I do that, I wanted to talk to you guys about my problem with overthinking and how much it has really affected my life when it comes to overthinking and everything that comes with it. So, for me, overthinking has always been an issue. I, ever since I was little, I struggled with keeping relationships and bonds and friendships. And because of things like that, I overthought, about a lot of things later on in my life when it comes to any single thing, anything. Whether it's something small or big, I will always overthink about it. And because of that, and the fear that I will just be, you know, um, abandoned again and people will leave me, I tend to push people away. I tend to not be the nicest person because of that aspect of me that is always overthinking of the worst possible scenario that could happen to me, which is most of the time is just, them leaving me and no longer talking to me. And because of that, I really struggle with this whole aspect of overthinking, and it really sucks. Now looking back on it a lot because I realized how much it has affected my life having to deal with this issue that ever since I was young I've always had to deal with a lot of I guess what would the word be, like just people who mess with my head and ruin the aspect of having trust and thinking that people were good. And because of it, now I'm in a spot where I lose a lot of people and I don't grow bonds with people because I'm scared of what can happen again, and I'm scared that it will all end the same. I will get left again and I won't have anyone again. And it's a really scary feeling. And I hate that about myself. I hate that. I overthink almost every single possible thing. So I push people away and and because of that, I can sometimes come off as rude or mean because I don't want to get close to people again. I don't want to get super close to someone to the point where I can, tell them things about me because I feel like it will all end up the same. And I overthink that. Worst possible scenario is that they'll leave me, or even worse, like they'll take my secrets and my worries and my problems and they'll throw it and they'll spill it out to the world and everyone else will know, and then I'll look like a coward and I'll look like I'm, weak. And because of it, I've struggled to keep people close to me, and it sucks, my overthinking process, because it really has affected me. Now that I take more time to look at things like this, I have realized it's ruined friendships, relationships, and it sucks. I think about it a lot, and it doesn't help with the fact that honestly, this was kind of the reason that I'm no longer in contact with my partner and my past relationship because I couldn't get past just the overthinking with her, and I felt so sorry because I promised that I'm not a bad person. I just the things I've gone through and the things that I've experienced make me not want to be the most nicest person ever, and I hate that about myself because I like being nice when I can be and when I want to be. I like the idea of having to be there for someone and for someone to understand someone and help them when they're having a rough time. And I can find myself doing that sometimes, but most of the time I don't like to get into it too much. I don't like to reciprocate. Like if someone does that for me, I'm scared to do the same because I'm scared of where it will end up with me. And I know that it should be like a sign that if they're able to do that with you, you should be able to do it with them. But for me, it's just scary still. It's scary talking about your feelings in a world where it's not exactly accepted to be weak in the mind and mental health issues. It's not exactly the most accepted yet, and that doesn't help with my overthinking and how I ruin most things and how I ruined my relationship with it because I couldn't, even though this girl was the nicest with me and very caring, and she never, showed me why she wasn't loyal to me or why I shouldn't trust her or anything like that. I still always in the back of my mind, I was always overthinking the worst possible scenario with her, if that was whether she might be just, talking to another guy or doing something behind my back or, just gonna leave me like everyone else I've met in my life. And points like that stuff really scared me. And because of it, I kind of need reassurance a lot, more than the average person when it comes to this type of stuff. And that also put me in a bad position because then I overwhelmed them. I overwhelmed them with my thoughts and my how I think, with my overthinking that everything will go wrong and nothing will go great for me. And because of that, I lost the love of my life because she was overwhelmed with my reassurance and my worries and everything I had going on in my head because it was brutal, honestly. And I hate myself for it. I hate how this is how I am now because of my past experience with my life, that it shouldn't dictate how I was with her, but it did because it was scary. And my past, I guess, trauma really affected me in that scenario when it comes to trusting people and getting close to someone. And that's why I really do struggle with overthinking and how it has affected me now that I'm basically alone again and I don't have anyone again. And I it sucks a lot, and I still really miss this girl, and I hope that things can work out with her and I can work on my overthinking because I've wanted to, I've promised her before, and I've promised people that I promise I could work on this, and it doesn't have to be permanent, but it doesn't. I always just, I give in, and I give in to the overthinking again, and I ruin it again, and it sucks because I really wish I wasn't like this. And I hate how it got ruined for me at such a young age because I couldn't. Everyone I knew and grew friendships with, even my parents, they always found a way to make me not want to trust people and not tell them things. I found it better to keep to myself because of my past experiences, and now it's come to bite me in the ass. And it's hard to keep any type of friendship because I'm scared of getting too close, and I'm scared of what might happen if I talk too much, and I'm scared and I overthink a lot of the worst possible scenario. And I say that a lot, but it's just the truth with me, and I overthink every single thing, every single detail of what might happen if I say this, even if I just say hello or they send me one text message and it's a little dry or it's just anything. I overthink that this person's annoyed of me, and I overthink that they hate me, and or that like they don't want to talk to me, and I feel like I'm just bothering them with their days, and that their days would be better without me. But a part of me doesn't want to think that, and that's what I truly hate, is that even though I feel like it's not true, the possibility of it overwhelms my side that it's not gonna happen. And I find myself ruining things because I can't afford to be right, or I can't afford to be right about my overthinking, and I'm scared of it. And I'm scared of my overthinking because it's been like this for so long, and I hate this feeling. I hate this feeling of myself that I have to overthink every single little thing just because of how it was for me in the past. And it sucks now because it's affected me in every single way of my life and hasn't made things any better when it comes to overthinking. And I don't know what to do to fix it anymore. I don't know what can stop my overthinking. It doesn't matter what I've tried to do, what I try to fix about it, or how I decide to handle it a different way. And I always ruin it. I go back to the overthinking. I go back to thinking that things are not alright, and I ruin it, and I ruin it again, just like I did basically last week for my past relationship, and now I'm not talking to them anymore, and it sucks. It really does. And I just can't stop overthinking anything. And now that we're no longer in contact, it's even worse now. I overthink every little thing that the person might be doing, and it's scary because I don't want to think those things. Because it's just the overthinking talking, but it's all it does. It fills up in my head and it fills my mind with these terrible ideas of what could be happening, and I hate it. I hate it. I hate the overthinking I have because I can't find I can't find the positive experience when it comes to these things, and now I'm stuck at overthinking every single little thing, and just the thing that I don't think people talk about enough maybe is that the social media like TikTok or Instagram or any of these things or YouTube, they don't help, with these feelings that you might have of this overthinking of the worst possible things and how things might become. It doesn't help because like recently my TikTok has been all about, sad things and all these like hope core type of things that don't really help because it feeds more into your delusions. And especially when you get TikToks that be like, oh, like, things aren't gonna work out, she's with another guy right now, she doesn't give a fuck about you, and that shit isn't talked about enough, and how it could actually genuinely affect you because you are now don't know what to think and you don't know what to do because these thoughts are put in your head because of what you might see and what you might feel, all because of some dumb TikTok that shouldn't matter because obviously it probably isn't true, but it gets in your head and it gets stuck in there and it keeps like, circulating in your head that what if this is what's actually happening? What if this is the reality? What if, and the what ifs keep speaking louder and louder in your head to the point where it's just the only thing you're thinking about. And I really do hate that about myself. And because, people tell me like, oh, you don't have to overthink like that. Like, you don't have to keep overthinking this. Like, I wish you would try to fix it. I wish it would be better. And it sucks because, I try and I give it a little bit of effort to not feel that way, but it never works out. I just go back to the overthinking and it doesn't help. And then the person that has to deal with this gets tired of it, obviously, and then, they obviously feel that it's overwhelming. This feeling of having to constantly reassure someone because they are an overthinker. And just like that, you lost someone because the overthinking was too powerful in your mind. And that's how the mind is very powerful. And how it can just, can do great things for you or ruin a lot of great things too. And I find it that it's ruining more things than doing me good things, and it sucks. So I really do struggle with overthinking, and I think it's my biggest weakness when it comes to just overthinking every single possible detail and every single little thing that is told to me and I receive. It's all going back to, is this person like not want to talk to me? Is this person tired of me? Or I overthink that if I give in and I try to get close to someone, I will end up getting hurt and I will end up losing this person because they're overwhelmed with my problems or overwhelmed with hearing me talk or talking to me. And that's the part that really sucks because you don't know what to do then. And you're scared that if you try, then obviously the overthinking comes in and things happen. And I feel so sorry for anyone who also feels like this. And overthinking is just, I don't know, it's one of the worst things that can probably happen to someone when they're trying to be better or when they're trying to not, have a bad, like, not have a bad time with their life. And you get fed these scenarios and these possibilities and all these things that might be happening, and it sucks to have to experience it. And I hate it. I truly hate myself for having to, I guess, have gone through those things when I was younger with other people I've known at the time and even my parents to make me think that trusting someone or getting close to someone isn't the best thing to do because you just end up getting hurt and you end up not trusting them anymore because of what they might do with those things. And now I realize how much it's affecting my life and how I'm perceived as I might not be perceived as the best person because of it. And I choose not to get close to people, even if they say that it's fine. I find myself not doing it because I overthink what's the worst thing that could happen. So, I guess that is my problem and my addiction to the overthinking that takes over my mind for everything in my life and every single thing that might happen. And I don't know what to do about it anymore. I don't know how to help it. I'm stuck in this hole like I have been ever since most of my recent months, and I don't know what to do anymore. And I was doing good. I was honestly doing good with the overthinking. I hadn't done it in a while, and then it got to me, and I broke again, and I panicked, and I overwhelmed people, and I overwhelmed the people I was talking to, and I just seemed more like an issue someone than someone they could actually talk to and be friends with because I seem to cause more trouble with my feelings and what I do, and I overwhelm people and it pushes them away. So I guess in the end, my overthinking, isn't wrong, and it's not something that it's always 100% wrong. But I hate that. I don't want to be right. I don't want to be right with my overthinking. I want to get proven wrong that I don't have to think this way. I think that if my overthinking wanted to get any better, then I have to get shown that I'm not going to be right and that my overthinking is just dumb ideas that I get put in my head because of whatever it could be, and that it's not the truth. And I don't know how to start because I've tried, but it doesn't work out. It doesn't get me anywhere, and I hate that because I've lost the most important person to me now because I couldn't handle myself, and I let go, and I overwhelmed this person, and now I don't know what to do anymore. And I hate myself, and I hope I can, I don't know, try to get better on my overthinking part, but I don't know what to do anymore. If to just, keep giving up like I have, or some type of solution. It doesn't, I don't know what could work anymore. And I don't know. So I guess I should just be saying thank you guys for listening to me again, and I'll continue working on my farm, and maybe that's something I can be proud of and something to be happy about, and just building my little farm to make some food. So thanks guys.